stream now, and I don't think it's quite come up yet. We'll see when it's about to start. Almost there, I think. Should be streaming. Not seeing it yet. Hoping to get started. Waiting for it to get started. It looks like we are started. Okay, folks, this is good. Off we go. All right, I'm going to get started. It looks like the stream is kind of working. Kind of working, kind of not working. I'm not quite sure. See if Twitch is working. I think Twitch is working. Need to make sure. Yep. Everything's working. Okay, nice to see you folks here. Today's cartoon is going to be... sorry to be so slow getting set up today. Today's cartoon is going to be Trump and Cruz are yelling at each other, and in front of them is Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street, and Oscar the Grouch says, "I vote for whoever is grouchiest." So, kind of a simple cartoon, another Sesame Street ode. I find that, being this former Muppet guy, you'd think I'd draw Muppets more often. And I was looking back at my Muppet cartoons, my Muppets as metaphors in editorial cartoons recently, and, I don't do them very often. It looks like about once every 2 years. So today I shall do Oscar the Grouch. And it seems like a good day for Trump grouching at... Cruz and vice versa, huh? So I think the general idea for this one is going to be one character is here. I haven't done a rough sketch for this, so I'm just figuring it out now. Other character yelling here. This will be Trump and Cruz. Haven't decided which is which yet. nose to nose yelling. And in the middle here is Oscar. Oh, I should apologize too. Kegel.com and DarylKegel.com are down right now. We're having big denial of service attack right now, and the techies are working on it, and we expect to be back up pretty soon. But right now, we are down. And I look forward to you guys chatting today. I'm going to be here quite a while. This is going to take some time to draw. Probably going to put pinstripe suits on these guys. And haven't done quite enough prep here. Let's bring up some Photoscrap. So this is what I'm looking at. This is my Facebook page. Let's look for Donald Trump images. This is how you do your photo research these days. In the old days, we had to find all this stuff on pieces of paper, and life was much harder. Here, let's get Oscar the Grouch. When I do a cartoon that uses a copyrighted character, I need to make sure to put an apology acknowledgement to the copyright holder, so it'll say apologies to Sesame Street. Don't let me forget to put that in. Here, let's do Ted Cruz. Okay, I think I'm set there. Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, Oscar the Grouch. Oscar the Grouch. I've drawn plenty of Oscar the Grouch back in my day. This is still my day. What the hell? Okay. Oscar the Grouch. I've been toying with the idea of giving Oscar an elephant nose because he's the Republicans in this metaphor. I haven't quite decided if I want to do that. There were lots of Muppet rules that I kind of forget from my Muppet days about, you know, size of the eyes and whether they touch and just where they go, and I have to put all of that old stuff back into my head. Oscar's eyes are not as big as other Muppets, and they don't touch in the middle. And he's got this angry eyebrow, unibrow, big black pupils. Hair is trimmed to be bushier on top than it is in his face. Kind of the opposite of me, huh? I don't know that we've gathered anyone watching here yet. jury is still out, I think, on whether these videos are a productive thing to do. I want to give it my best shot, see if I can make it work, see if I can gather some viewers. Not quite sure yet. And it is easier to do if I have some comments, so I welcome you guys to comment. He's too big, isn't he? I think I'm going to start with Oscar, a new piece of paper. You see all my mistakes and indecision when I do things this way. So let's have Oscar here, smaller. Start with Oscar, put the yelling guys in afterwards. Okay. And if anyone's watching, please say hello. I don't think I'm getting a read on who's watching. I haven't quite thought through where his hand should be, or if his hand should be doing anything here. His face is just about 3/4 of the width of his garbage can. Okay. You folks are silent. That makes me talk less as well. Maybe he should have the making a point hand. He's got 3 fingers. It's hard to get his hands up, huh? So if you want me to keep chatting and yammering, you're going to have to leave a comment. Perhaps it's better that I sit quietly. I'm going to be here quite a while this afternoon with this one. He needs to be a little cuter, I think. I'm kind of leaning against giving him the elephant nose, the elephant's trunk, because it's just so strange. I think it was funnier in my head than it's going to be on the paper. It did seem kind of funny in my head. Oh, gonna sharpen a pencil. Sorry. I know that's loud, but hey, when you gotta sharpen a pencil, you gotta sharpen a pencil. So my apologies for that, and apologies for the website being down today. It is a unusually big attack. But it shall come back. Tech guys have to do different stuff when the attacks change. So am I happy with where his hands are? I think I've got his mouth right. No comments from anybody. My goodness, folks. We've got 3 people watching on Twitch. We could get a comment. Don't see how many are watching on YouTube. I'm gonna be here a long time today with this one. Oh, today I'm drinking water from Flint, Michigan. They tell me it's perfectly safe to drink. It's funny when I drink the Flint, Michigan water. On previous streams, people have said, "Are you drinking a Fireball?" Kids nowadays, huh? I probably never thought of that in Flint. He doesn't raise his hands out of the can very much, does he? Or not much beyond just a wrist. Alright, let's have this head and this head be nose to nose yelling. Well, they can't be that big, can they? Because they've got to be correctly proportioned to Oscar. One there. That distance about the same. If you've watched my streams before, you see it's a matter of figuring stuff out as I draw. So which one is Cruz and which one is Trump? Well, do I like this hand this way? If I want him to have an expression with that hand, it's going to have to come out farther from the trash can. Doesn't have much space for his hands to come out, does he? Alright, let's put this one on his chin. Point like that. Okay. Is that better? I'll think about that for a minute. Might be better. Hello, Vasquez Lickball. Nice to see you here. I'm not getting many comments, you know. So, I appreciate seeing somebody say something. Now let's do, here I can show you what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at right now is Oscar. Let's try Ted Cruz. Okay, I think we're going to need 3/4 views on their head so that we get a little better chance for oh, you're honored to be in the room. Ah, what is your name, Vakasikbal? Should I call you Vakas? Okay, I recall that I would typically put the bottom lip. I forget this Muppet stuff. It's been so many years. You always need a little bit of perspective on the bottom part of the mouth, so you give it this thing going on there. It's a little better. Yeah, that's better. Honored to be in the room. Well, it's an exclusive honor, I think, because there are only 6 people in this room on Twitch and 2 people in the room on YouTube, so we need to gather more of a crowd. A little more Flint, Michigan water. That does retard my development. Okay, Cruz. Cruz has wonderful nose. How big do I want their heads on their bodies to be? Probably pretty big, huh? Cruz has a big neck that comes straight from his chest into his chin. He's got these wonderful eyebrows. Both he and Trump have pretty tiny mouths. Ah, Vacas. Don't mind how many people are in there. Just getting to watch a real artist work is the best deal here. Yeah, you can't beat the price, huh? Okay. Those funny eyes. Wonderful funny eyes. You know what I could do? I could show you some previous cruises that I've done. Actually, it helps me on these characters that I haven't drawn very often to get to know them a little bit better. So let's go to politicalcartoons.com. Kegel Cartoons, Kegel.com and DarylKegel.com are down today with DDoS attack, so my apologies for that. Here we'll go to politicalcartoons.com. I'll see what I did for my previous cruises. Previous cruises. Hello, Eric Sanchez. Nice to see you here. Okay, previous cruises. So here's a nice trump that Taylor Jones did today that I haven't even looked at yet. See how that goes. So where do I want their arms to go? They're yelling at each other. They need hands in the air. What looks right? It's not looking too wrong, but not too right either. Donald Trump also has that neck that goes straight into his chest. I knew this one would be kind of hard to draw because their positions are so defined in this composition. So things like this arm coming out directly at us is a little awkward. But it has to be where it is. So this is just a matter of my trying to think things through. And thinking things through always takes some time, and I tend to make lots and lots of mistakes, which you will see as I do this. I think I'm not going to like that arm. Is this chat roulette? Asks Charlie X. I don't think you win anything here except a charming time watching an editorial cartoon be drawn. So everyone is a winner. His arms want to go back like that, don't they? That's really what they want to do. Maybe it's funny if both their arms are in the same positions on either side. I haven't really thought of that. Try it. The other arm goes here. Charlie X right. You fapping or what? Fapping. Alright. I don't know if I'm doing that or not. Alright, I think that's working. Eric, you love the noise of the pencil gliding across the paper. Let your imagination run wild. Oh, yeah. I notice on these streams that the pencil's pretty loud, and I had never really thought about it before, but you know, it's just as loud in real life. That's what it really sounds like in this room. Usually what it sounds like in here, in the past, before I tried to live stream everything, was talking heads on cable news. I used to have them on all the time, and now I have quiet for doing things on video. Oh, fapping is very offensive. My goodness. Should I ban Charlie X? I don't know what fapping is. Web page is still. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been having Taylor Jones still up there, and I haven't been showing you what I'm drawing here. Taylor Jones with. That's kind of an offensive drawing. I hadn't quite thought about that. Alright, I'm going back and looking up drawings I've done before of Ted Cruz. And remind me sometimes if I've got the other thank you upshift, if I've got the monitor showing or something, I don't always look. So appreciate getting a reminder. I look at the chat more than I look at my screen. Ooh, I should ban it, huh? Goodness. Okay, Ted Cruz. Somebody's calling me up. When people call and they don't have caller ID, I do not take their calls. I'm going to have to do their faces in just a minute here, aren't I? I'm getting distracted by doing the arms so much that I'm breaking through the paper. Upshift writes, I end up doing the same thing when I stream. It's hard to tell exactly what's up, and if you're not looking directly at the stream, ha ha ha. Yes, and you know, I've got too many things to look at. Chat and screen and drawing. And, here, I'll show you. These are my my trumps. Oh, my cruises. This is a cruise that I did after Steve Bell, famous British cartoonist, did a drawing like this of, well, that's taking too long, isn't it? Oh, here he is. Ted Cruz as the monkey throwing his poop. And I like to look at that because I was being more aggressive in the way that I caricatured his nose, and I should try to be more aggressive than I often tend to be. So let's go back to my Ted Cruz. So just so you know what I'm looking at, I'm back with my old Ted Cruz here. Cruz with his funky nose. I'm going to do less of a nose than I did in that other one. He's got that wonderful short upper lip. And a snuff box. Food rights. Where's Trump? Trump is going to be here. This will be Cruz. There's Oscar the Grouch. I may alter their sizes a bit. Haven't quite figured it out. Okay, Cruz. That's those wonderful droopy puppy dog eyes. Neither of them has a... No, Donald Trump only is anti-illegal. He loves Latinos. Okay, food. You know, he wants to look pouty. He's an angry guy, but he wants to look pouty. So I'm not happy with that. Maybe I can exaggerate the mouths more. I want them to have more yelling. He says rapists, criminals, peoples who steal. Well, yep. This cartoon's pretty tame, though. This is just calling him grouchy. I'll tell you, though, one thing that I like about Donald Trump is that I think he is one of the... People tend to not compare him to the other Republicans, and the other Republicans are such knuckle-dragging Neanderthals that he looks pretty good in comparison, I think. And I worry about all those crazy evangelicals wanting to get us into the apocalypse and have Jesus Christ come back. And I'm not as worried about that with Donald Trump as I am with Ted Cruz and the other crazy evangelicals. And that's my my top of my list. Sorry, food. Politics 101. You're watching a political cartoonist here. Perhaps it is Politics 101. He doesn't show his bottom teeth, does he? Not something that he does. Alright. I'll leave this Cruz up here for a little bit. Let him stew and see if I'm happy with him in a few minutes. He's got a funny little male pattern baldness going on. Oh, Eric, you subscribed. Thank you very much. You know, I need subscribers. I have hardly any audience here, and for Twitch to take you seriously, you need 100 subscribers. So If any of you would subscribe, I really appreciate it. Oh, you're on YouTube. I need you to subscribe on Twitch if you would. Follow on Twitch. YouTube, I think they are still in beta on their streaming. So I'm not quite sure where this is going to go. The streaming for editorial cartoonists is still quite the unproven concept. But I'm giving it a try. Yeah, I haven't got a good Cruz here yet. Let's work on Trump for a minute and let Cruz stew while I'm working on Trump. I can see his face is going to have to come down to there. One problem I have with these Google Images, my scrap, is that they tend to have everybody smiling and face on. It's hard to get side views. Hard to get anything that has much of an expression aside from this is me smiling at you. Another thing I like about Cruz is that his eyes go all the way out to the sides of his head, which amuses me. Eyes on the side of the head are kind of funny. Alright. Trump. Trump does the fishy pouty lips like that. They're very descriptive of him. Whenever you can do the fishy pouty lips with him, it is a good choice. So yes, I do appreciate anyone subscribing on Twitch. I much appreciate that. So I need to get up to that 100 subscriber level. Trump. He's a squinty-eyed one. Eric says, I'm going to draw a fox, but we'll still be watching. A fox? Fox like Fox News? Okay. Snuff box for him too. Ted Cruz is more fun to draw. Okay, the hair. Trump's nose seems to come down straighter than it does. You really have to draw what it seems to be. Okay. Let's move his ducky kissy pouty mouth up a little. Pouty mouth. I do. Oscar's looking a little small here, isn't he? Now that Cruz and Trump are getting bigger. I'm going to have to deal with that. I may be erasing my Oscar. One thing that's kind of interesting about Trump's eyes is that they want to come down like that toward the center. Most people think of him as just hair. He needs more interesting mouth. They're supposed to be yelling at each other. Not happy with that. That's kind of funny. He does have a bit of a chin. Alright, let's move to other things. Think about Trump again in just a minute, when I'll have a fresh perspective on him. That's one of the benefits of moving around. You need to see things a little differently. There's time, because drawing takes a lot of time. So just work on something else and then you see things differently. Back to my Flint, Michigan water. Yeah, Oscar the Grouch has gotta be rethought. It's interesting, you know, the simpler a cartoon, the fewer figures that you have to draw bigger and clearly, the harder it is to get all the details. If you have a crowd scene, a bunch of stuff going on, the details don't matter so much. You can actually move a lot faster on these guys. So what Oscar is going to do is down here he's going to say, I'll vote for whoever is grouchier. That's his speech balloon here. And I'm going to have a little bit of, excuse me, pencil sharpener. My apologies. I know I shouldn't do that. Oh, it'll take a while. Okay. Got Trump coming in front of Cruz a little bit because I needed more hair room. Yeah, I'm gonna make Oscar bigger. Move this upward lip down a little bit too. This hand can be bigger and come out. You know, food. I don't think I'm going to put a hat on Donald Trump. Just because it obscures the hair. I'd rather go for the hair. Now, mouth isn't right. Go back to that. Takes a while. Make America grouchy again. Oh, yeah. These guys are so grouchy. Alright, he's a little bit better. He needed to be bigger. We needed to have more conflict in this focal area. You know, his upper lip doesn't go like that. It goes like this. That's more Trumpian, huh? Not sure I like it as much. Let's exaggerate it, make it extra pouty. Well, that's looking terrible. I see here that Trump's coat needs to be open more in this direction. Or Cruz's coat. And Trump's coat more open in this direction. What I'm going to do after this is I'm going to put a piece of vellum on here and trace this over with final line art. Final line art. So, Cruz scares me more than Trump. Even though Trump says outrageous, intolerant stuff. Cruz worries me with regard to apocalypse. I've got too much blank area happening here. Cruz's torso. So this fist needed to be bigger. That fist needs to be bigger. You know, a lot of this drawing is just planning. And that's why so much of the scritchy scratch is indeterminate. Indeterminate until I figure things out. Well, when he does the ducky lips, his lips move up, don't they? And he maintains his pillar. Kid Scoop News writes, seeing you draw the final art in pencil is a revelation to me. I always feel like my drawings lose a little between pencil and ink. Never thought of skipping the inking. Yes, you don't have to ink. You can do anything the heck you want. Inking makes me look stiff too. My problem is overworking things. The overworking should all get out of your system in the rough sketch. I think I'm not too pleased with where this arm is. I'm okay with Cruz's body position. You know, in the old days, it was harder to draw in pencil for your finishes. But now with Photoshop and being able to change all your settings, make it look just the way you want, with regard to scanning and high contrast, you can make pencil drawing look like anything you want. This is going to be wanting to be too stiff, and I'm going to need to loosen it up when I do the finish. I'm going to try making a point hand. Not angry enough, I think. I could do it on this hand. Not sure I like that. Sorry. My apologies. Yeah. 2 or 3 think Donald Trump's arms. I'm drawing on a very thin coated stock that I actually bought for an old color printer, and I thought I was being clever to buy a whole bunch of it, and I was not, as the printer died and became obsolete, and I've still got all this crummy old paper. And I kind of like a crummy drawing environment for the roughs because I don't want to spend too much time on my roughs. I want to just figure things out. I think I'm going to move Oscar down in the final as I'm drawing it. So I make a note to self, move Oscar down. Speech balloon a little smaller. Nothing wrong with this Flint water. You know, this arm should come in front of him more to leave more space in front of Oscar's head. I'll do that. Who's calling now? I don't know. Oh, I do have a repairman coming. Give me just a second, and I will take this call. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Had to deal with a phone call. Yeah, Oscar has to move down. This one's more of a struggle than it should be. Alright, I'm going to try the same position for them both. Maybe that's funnier. Same position for them both, funnier. Excuse me. Kidscoop News asks if I ever had a change of opinion on an issue candidate after publishing a cartoon about it. Oh, yes, there are cartoons I regret. Particularly my cartoons in the run-up to the war in Iraq. I made the mistake of reading the New York Times and Judy Miller and trusting their reporting about WMDs and the dangers of Iraq. And the New York Times was all wrong. There were no WMDs. I learned an important lesson about the New York Times, and I did a bunch of terrible pro-Iraq war cartoons at that time that I regret. So, yeah. Although I must say, just about every other cartoonist was doing the same. The only cartoonists who weren't were pretty darn obscure and not people that you would have seen. Excuse me. So I had good company in my poor judgment. Right. I'm also going to endeavor to color this one in the live stream, so I'm going to be here all afternoon. Yeah, both of his arms are not what I would like. And I'm spending too long fiddling with this. Do something funny with the arms. Have him folding his hands or something. The stuff up in the upper left, it's just not working for me. I think I'll do that. He needs a hand in front of his suit. Hello, Joshua Hughes. This is not really a finished drawing. This is just a layout for the final art that I'm going to do in a minute. Just getting a sense of where I would want to put everything. It's a little funnier, I think, to have his hands together in this thing going down here. And then all this stuff back here, I can just throw a little bit of Kamakana swearing and stuff scooting through the air. Little bits of peels and squeens. Am I ready to... Hello, Atomic Widget. Nice to see you here. I think I'm going to go to finish on this. I have to remember that Oscar is going to move down. So he's going to be more in the foreground, and I'm going to have more distance from his base to these other guys' heads. So, this is the vellum for the final art. Leave space at the bottom to move Oscar down. I'm going to draw from right to left. Oh, thank you for the kind words, Atomic Widget. So the gag here is that Oscar the Grouch says, I'll vote for whoever is grouchiest. So it's kind of a light cartoon. Grouchy and light. Okay. Put Cruz back up on the big screen. See, it's always good to have a sense of who you're drawing and feel them while you're doing it and get the Cruzy character. So just so you know, that's what I'm looking at. I'm gonna go with the old man glasses too. My apologies. Okay. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do something like give him pinstripes on his suit, so I'm going to draw in a few details that may be lost going forward if I do decide to put more details into the suit. Won't quite know until I see if I'm happy with the way it's going. Think used car salesman when you look at Cruz. He does tell you what he thinks you want to hear, doesn't he? Cruz is kind of fun for the cartoonists. Excuse me. Lots of hay fever today. So you can see that I'm not really tracing this. I'm just redrawing the whole thing, but using the drawing underneath as a guide rather than something to trace, because there are different problems to solve in doing the finished drawing than there are in the layout. The layout is just about getting things in the right positions, figuring out generally what you want to do. Comic Widget writes, "This is the time of year when they all tell you what they think you want to hear." Indeed. I'm not sure that time of year goes away. Okay. I notice lots of beginning artists are hesitant to spin their paper around. I spin my paper all the time. Okay. Kidscoop News writes, "From a truly cartoonist point of view, which candidate do you think you'd most enjoy drawing for the next 4 years?" Well, Hillary is the best cartoon character. I don't like Hillary, but what a wonderful cartoon character. She's got so much history. You can do gags with her just acting like herself, and then it is so rewarding to see her acting like herself that it makes you laugh. And I've had so many years to learn all of those stories. Here, I will show you Hillary that I did some years ago. Kind of illustrates the point, and I think she's just a wonderful cartoon character. Little bit of Mort Drucker in those hands. Oh, well, that's quite the compliment. So I'm going to bring up my Hillary's, just because Hillary came up in conversation. Oh, look what a nice trump this is. Take a look at that nice trump. Hey, check this out. This is this one is Trump by Angel Boligan. Isn't that nice? Trump is King Kong on the Empire State Building. I like that. That's fun. Makes me want to give him a little more swoop to his hair, huh? He's got that rounded face coming out. Look, that's nice. So let's go up here to search for Hillary, and Okay, go color only, submit. This is the one that I was going to dig up, because this one tells the story. You know, I did all of her her medals as the stories that you know about her, and that was just wonderful, because you know, it gets you to thinking how many stories. You know, they're not baking cookies, the cattle futures, standing by your man, the home email server, dodging bullets in Serbia, you know, when she wasn't really being shot at. She says she's dodging bullets. There's just so many great things that are just so much fun about her. She's a wonderful character. And, that's a wonderful trunk, too. Love the medals. Thank you, Kid Scoop News. This is, I kind of liked this one. This was her and Jeb Bush. And this one got a lot of play back when we thought that it was going to be this kind of regal dynasty thing going on. And Jeb Bush petered out. Jeb Bush would have been kind of fun as well, but he petered out. So what you gonna do? And what else have I got? This is one that you can look at in a live stream if you want to look at my archives here. This one of Hillary and Bernie. You can see me drawing that one. Instead, you got Jokers. Yeah, there were a lot of cartoonists who drew Jokers with Donald Trump as the Joker. But, like I said, Donald Trump is relative. And in that Republican field with all those scary characters, he does not strike me as the scariest one. And I have not been that cruel to him. Anyway, Hillary and Bernie, if you want to take a look at and watch me watch that one in real time, that was good. What else have I got? This one ran in USA Today and got a lot of ink. This one with Hillary and the raining email, and clearly that was something that editors wanted. Anyway, I digress. Let's close these. Go back to the drawing at hand. I need to finish this one. I do like that Mulligan Trump. That was a lovely Trump. So, Cruz, what do your ears look like? His ears are not particularly noteworthy. He does have a good earlobe. Boy, Marco Rubio's got the earlobes, huh? Colossal earlobes. Keep in mind, my pencil is intended to look like pen, so I do draw in a kind of a pen kind of way every line is intended to be black and hard-edged, as opposed to how you might draw with pencil expecting to get some grays. I don't draw with a pencil expecting any grays. I draw hard, expecting everything is going to come out hard. Okay. Another thing I notice, difference between the professional and aspiring cartoonists, is that by and large, professional cartoonists are willing to spend more time on a drawing. The aspiring cartoonists want to knock stuff out really fast and not devote a lot of time to it. Not quite sure why that is. Kids Group News writes, do you save all your originals? I save the good ones, and I often sell originals. Sometimes people call me up and have a particular one they want to buy. So it's nice to have originals rather than drawing everything on the Wacom tablet and not having any originals, as many cartoonists do. Twitch, you people are quiet. That's looking Cruisian. His nose is just wonderful. I may give him a gray suit and not bother with any pinstripes or anything. This is getting kind of busy. Perhaps doesn't need the details. You don't get a lot of open mouth photos of Ted Cruz, do you? You want to see Ted Cruz? This is what I'm looking at as I draw this. So just so you know, I want to be steeped in Ted Cruz as I draw this. Six people are watching on YouTube and not saying a word. 5 people watching on Twitch. So we've got 11 people. 11 silent people. There's absolutely nothing on Google with a good open mouth of Ted Cruz. He shows a little bit of upper teeth and no lower teeth. He is a fun character. Give him some shadow here. Okay. Put his shoes on him, and then I'm gonna do Oscar. You guys are all so quiet. Atomic Widget writes, the shoes are a cross between Al Jaffe and Don Martin. Yeah, I kind of make them pretty long, don't I? Clown shoes. I do like those Don Martin shoes. I love Jack Davis shoes. Sometimes I think I should go to Google and bring up some particular shoes and draw those particular shoes, and then I'm always too lazy for that. And I don't ever end up doing it. But I probably should. Alright, I'm going to move Oscar down just a skosh here. Because he's... oops, I'm sorry. Whacked my board. My camera. You know, the other day, I whacked the camera, didn't realize it, and it was pointing down the front of me. And it made me realize it's a good thing I was wearing pants. Let's do that. Yeah, in the old days, before live streaming, didn't put much thought into whether I was wearing pants or not. But the times they are changing, huh? Alright, let's bring Oscar back up on the screen. Just in case you forget what Oscar looks like, there he is. I draw with a little bit of ADD, hopping from thing to thing. Oscar. Oops, excuse me. Got the hay fever. Back in the day, I was a Muppet cartoonist. And I drew lots of Muppets. did lots of Sesame Street as well. Kid Scoop News writes, does most of your reader mail tend to be positive or negative or an even mix? Well, the most common email I get is, Dear Mr. Cagle, please explain the cartoon to me. My paper is due tomorrow. So I put up a portfolio on behance.net that you can go look at, kind of an illustration portfolio. And oh, just a second, gotta take this, I'm sorry. Hello, this is Daryl. I have the DirecTV repairman coming to visit me this afternoon. Running a little late. Boy, you're handicapped when the satellite dish goes down, huh? Slave to technology. Oscar. Needed to be just a little bit bigger. So the only time I really get much mail is when there's some group that's outraged and is trying to have some kind of a flame campaign asking people to send mail. And more often than not, it's not about my cartoon, because I run this syndicate for editorial cartoonists. And they perceive me to be the guy who can fire an editorial cartoonist. Editorial cartoonists tend to be freelancers now, as newspapers are not hiring many people as full-time employees like they used to. And so I'm the guy they call to try to get somebody fired when they draw a cartoon that offends the sensibilities. But I don't do that. There have been some of these campaigns that have generated a lot of letters. But I would call them all contrived and strange, not really real people motivated to write letters. Just following commands. Last May says, hi, Daryl. Nice work, man. Nice to see you here, Lass. Thanks for commenting. Last May writes, I'm an editorial cartoonist from Jamaica and a fan of your work. Well, that's very nice. I'm not familiar with your work, Lass. Send me a few samples. I was editorial cartoonist in Hawaii for a while. You get kind of a isolated from the rest of the world island attitude. I would imagine that's the same in Jamaica. Last writes, I produce daily cartoons for the Gleaner, the leading newspaper in Jamaica. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I would like to see your work, Lass. When I originally had the idea for this cartoon, my headshot is frozen. Well, it certainly is. Let's see if I can pop that puppy in and out. Tell you what, I'm going to stop the stream for a minute because I've been drawing nearly 2 hours, and that's too long for a YouTube archive. So I will stop the stream and start back up, take a potty break, and I will be back in just about 5-10 minutes. So don't go away. I've got a whole lot more time to spend drawing this thing and then coloring it. So I'll be here for a long time. We'll quit this and come back and see you in 5-10 minutes. Be working here. And I'm back to work. OBS needed to restart to get my head moving again. And 2 hours is a little too long for a video, but not at all unusual for me to spend the whole afternoon on a cartoon. Oh, don't let me forget my apologies to Sesame Street. Cartoonists may use copyrighted and trademarked characters in their political cartoons, but one of the requirements is acknowledging the copyright or trademark holder, and the standard for that is to write apologies. But actually it is a legal requirement for the acknowledgement under the fair use part of the copyright law. So apologies to Sesame Street. And thanks for letting me to know about my frozen head, Kid Scoop News. Okay. Position Donald Trump a little more artfully. He needs to come a little bit away. And looks right. Bring the Donald up on the screen. There he is. You folks want to see the Donald? There he is. That's what I'm looking at. So just to let you know. Oh, the Donald. happy with that hair. I'm not quite sure. I have not yet made peace with Donald Trump's hair. His hair is wispy, which doesn't really lend itself to being drawn with a hard line. Wispy can be tricky. That's not his chin. Neither is that. I may need to get away from Trump for a minute too. I haven't quite mastered my Trump. And that ear sucks too. Yes, I make lots of mistakes. I do lots of correcting. I guess that's a little more correct. Hey, you folks, if you would subscribe to me on Twitch, follow me on Twitch, I would much appreciate that. If you're on YouTube, just, search Daryl Cagle on Twitch. I'm not sure if Cagle.com is back up yet. Usually you can go to Cagle.com and see my stream, but we were getting quite the big DDoS hacker attack today. And the site went down as the tech guys were making changes to deal with the hackers. And since I've been drawing, I haven't quite been checking in on that. I suppose I should. Just a second, let me check in on that. Computers to the right of me and to the left of me. Yeah, looks like Cagle.com is up and my stream is on the front page. So, easy to find. Vinfernals writes, "This is so cute and hello. Nice to see you here, Vinfernals. Please follow me. I'm hurting for subscriptions on Twitch. Trying to make this work with Twitch requires 100 subscribers for Twitch to take you seriously." Oh, you like Trump's face? I'm not quite happy with Trump's face. I'm more happy with Cruz's face here. So Trump's face is temporary depending on what changes I make here. So Two Senseless writes, "Uh-oh, Vin is here, hides." I don't know. Vin seems like a nice enough fella. This is just a bunch of angry crud flutzing around in the world. Vin writes, "I'm a lovely lady who two's just mean." Well. Yeah, this one's taken its time, isn't it? Two Senseless writes, "How are you today, Daryl?" I'm doing okay today. Everything is good. You know, I put a lot of thought into whether I wanted to put an elephant trunk on Oscar the Grouch. And I decided against it because this was just getting kind of busy. But still have mixed feelings about that. If I did, it would go this way and would have to be in place of his hand. go this direction. So, Vin and Too Senseless, if you could help me get some more followers on Twitch, I would very much appreciate that. Because I do need to see if I can make this work. I've noticed that the people that come to Kaggle.com to look at cartoons, they just want to look at cartoons. They want finished cartoons. They're not interested in spending the afternoon watching me draw things. Just want to look quick at a bunch of cartoons and leave. Which is frustrating. I've been for Too Senseless. Help me out. I need some followers. I think I'm kind of an oddity here in the Twitch creative section. Most of the people are looking at the Adobe feed. Too Senseless writes, I love watching you draw. I know others will too, just a matter of time. Oh. You have to find me on there. You know, you scroll through all of those people on Twitch, and I have so few people watching and following that I don't show up high on the list. So I'm hard to find. And my darn fans and Kaggle.com They just don't have the friggin' culture to want to watch a video. So I think the jury is still out on whether this works for me. Though I like the idea. Some cartoonists finish their cartoons really fast, don't put a lot of time and effort into the rendering of them. And they just would not work on a live stream because they don't have the time to put into it. And then others are just scared because it's a scary concept. Two Senseless writes, the creative community is a bit different from gaming. I know a lot of artist streamers who scroll to the bottom to find someone new. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, they've only been doing this Twitch Creative since October, and the YouTube streaming is still in beta. So, as far as editorial cartoonists go, or most professional cartoonists, I think this is quite the new concept. Not something they have considered. Vin writes, I'll hang out here as long as I can. I have to go to a job training. Maybe back though. Okay, well, I'm going to be here for a while. I will finish this drawing before too long, but then I'm going to scan it and color it in Photoshop. And I've decided to stream the process of coloring it in Photoshop today. Hey, Vin for Nails, don't get back in time. You can watch the video. And thank you for stopping in. And please do follow on Twitch. I appreciate your following. I need the followings. You know, his leg is looking short, and he's coming up higher than Cruz over there. I'm going to move his foot down. See you soon, Vin. I see that's the YouTube feed that's up on Kaggle.com. I don't know that I've got anybody watching there. 4 people watching on YouTube. Not completely empty. Vin writes, I actually collected editorial cartoons. Ha ha. I didn't understand any of those jokes. I just liked the art and how silly they were. Well, good. I don't think editorial cartoons are too hard to understand. This one certainly isn't complex. Although, like I said, my #1 email is explain the cartoon to me. My paper is due tomorrow. I have been pretty cruel to George W. Bush over the years, but he did this No Child Left Behind thing where they started the testing in 8th and 11th grade AP social studies testing. And the tests include editorial cartoons on them. And we sell a lot of editorial cartoons to these testing services. Vin writes, when I was a kid, I didn't even know there were other positions besides president. Oh, Matt Bandana. Daryl, I can't believe I found you here on Twitch. You're a legend. Respect from Croatia. Oh, well, thank you, Matt Bandana. Please follow me on Twitch because I'm hurting for not having many followers, and I'm trying to get this streaming thing to be something that makes sense. And I tell ya, it's a different audience. Croatia. I think of Croatia as having a bunch of good cartoonists. You guys used to have a bunch of cartoon contests as well. We've got a Croatian cartoonist that we syndicate, Petar Pesmetrovic. I think he's Croatian. Lives in Austria. So nice to see you here, Matt Bandana. Another thing I do differently now that I'm streaming while I do my work is I try to sharpen all the pencils in advance. And I think the biggest thing is trying to talk all the time like Popeye, mumbling constantly. Because when I watch these other guys on Twitch Creative sitting silently or else playing music in their stream, don't like the music, and I don't want to listen to other people's music. And you want whoever you're watching to talk rather than sit there silently. I get enough of the sitting silent. So even if I don't have much worthwhile to say and I'm doing the Popeye mumbling, I think it's better than sitting quietly. You can turn the sound off if you want. Kid Scoop News writes, is there an official cartoon name for all the little icons representing arguing like the thing over Ted in this cartoon? I'm sure there is. It's kind of escaping me right now. The general term for all of those little cartoon symbols is kamakana. Eric Sanchez, nice to see you back. Matt Bandana writes, coolest guy from Croatia I know of is Isad Ribic, comic artist. Never heard of the guy you mentioned, but that could be because of my lack of knowledge. You're welcome. It's an honor to see you draw. Oh, well, there's so many kind words. That's so nice. Yeah, I need to add a good deal more of the swearing stuff up in the air. Spice this cartoon up a little bit. Let's do that. Monkey on Strike writes, invisible pen. Vin, gotta go. Sorry to see you go, Vin. Monkey on Strike, pencil. Pencil's invisible. Oh, in this spot, am I getting a reflection that makes it not show? So I can draw celestial objects, stars, skulls and crossbones, lots of little swastikas. Sometimes I do knives, daggers. Do guns. Sometimes I'll do a cannon. Let's do a cannon. Monkey on Strike writes, looking great. Love the expressions on the faces. Well, thank you. Drawing is mostly practice, Eric. Let's see, what else do I draw in this stuff? Sometimes I'll do disembodied eyeballs. Those are fun. I did put a lot of thought into whether to give Oscar the Grouch a trunk like a elephant. That was the original idea, and I did not, because it was looking a little bit contrived, too contrived. So I went for the Just Oscar. Last May writes, I have a copy of the best political cartoons of the year 2005. Bought it when I visited Florida back then. Well, that's great. I think that was the first one I did. And we quit doing those books because the sales of all books went right down the tubes. People want to see cartoons on the web. So it's a shame, but not doing the books anymore. And there was a competing book, the best editorial cartoons of the year, as opposed to my book, the best political cartoons of the year, which had been going for many, many more years, and which sold exactly as much as our book. And we watched their sales go down at the same time that our sales were going down equally. So, hey, business models change, huh? Was just costs quite a bit to do the book. Kid Scoop News, did you collect the books as well? Well, we just didn't have enough people collecting the books. What can I say? I miss the books too. We've thought about doing a Kickstarter. I tell you, the problem with the books. Start off drawing when you're 4. That's great. Problem with the books is that I was paying each cartoonist in the book $75, which everyone thought was very low. And we had about 150 cartoonists in the books, which meant our royalties were $10,000. 10, 12, 11,000 bucks. So the book had to make that plus the cost of our time doing it. And as it ended up, it wasn't even going to make the 10,000 bucks. Books just don't make that much, cartoon books. So I could do it and pay the cartoonist nothing, like the other book, the best editorial cartoons of the year book, which lasted longer because they didn't pay the cartoonists. But if I tried to make it live, then that was just too much work, not enough return. Better to draw a few more cartoons. Marilyn Harmon, nice to see you here. Yes, also streaming on YouTube, but that's mainly because hello Haru900. It's mainly because I like to have the videos show up in the archive there. I think Twitch drops the video archive after 30 days. I haven't quite done 30 days of streaming on Twitch, but I like the idea of having the permanent archive. Yeah, YouTube's streaming is still in beta. Hello, Victoria7. And Haru. And please follow me on Twitch. I'm really trying to get up to the 100 followers whereby you can ask to be a Twitch partner. They won't pay attention to you unless you have 100 followers. And I am far from that. So Les, email me at daryl@kagel.com and email a few of your favorite evergreen cartoons. Let me take a look. Because I'm not really in a web surfing position now, but daryl@kagel.com. Just email me. I'd like to see what you do. Seems to me that Jamaica would be an exciting place to be the editorial cartoonist. Is there a black speck on the can? Oh, that's my. Oh, yeah, up here in the corner. Let's see if I can fix that. That is green screen. Two Senseless says, I might need more than that. Oh, thank you, Victoria7, for following me. And Creative Juice. Yes, I think I'll need more than that. But it's 100 that they describe as their level that they want you to have before they'll even talk about doing the partner thing. And I'm not quite actually sure what the partner thing is good for. This one's got a lot of junk going on. It's a messy, goofy cartoon. Creative Juice writes, you forgot Ted Cruz's watches. He wears two, one on each arm. I didn't know that. Does he really? Okay, I'll give him watches. I had no idea. Just plain old watches, nothing noteworthy. He really does have one on each arm. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Easy enough change to make. One on each arm. Is he keeping track of 2 time zones? Creative Juice writes, looks great though. Which papers have you been in? I'm from Cleveland. Well, we are not in the Cleveland Plain Dealer, but we are in half of America's daily paid circulation newspapers. So off the top of my head, in Ohio, we're in the Columbus Dispatch, we're in the Cincinnati Enquirer. But not in the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Although the Cleveland Plain Dealer's cartoonist Jeff Darcy is on kagel.com and on our politicalcartoons.com site. So you should come take a look. Excellent cartoonist there in Cleveland, Jeff Darcy. But alas, they have not subscribed. If you're wondering what I'm doing over here on the right, I have a little piece of sandpaper there, and I quick do a chisel point. Kid Scoop News writes, one watch allows him to go back in time, the other lets him go even farther back in time. All right. Creative Juice writes, Jeff Darcy is great. I've been a fan of his work for decades. I think his most famous work was when the Browns left and he had Art Modell kicking a dog in the gut. Oh. Too Senseless writes, it looks like a Fitbit on one hand. Sorry, Curious too. Oh, well, I gave him 2 watches. What the hell? I don't need to worry about accuracy because I can draw 2 watches whether it's accurate or not. Oh, it's a Fitbit on one wrist. Okay, should I change that? What does the Fitbit look like? Does it have an interesting design? I think I'll just leave it. 2 watches is kind of funny. People will think I made a mistake. Here's a little @ sign because they must be arguing about Hillary's emails. Eric Sanchez writes, I have a knack for drawing because when my great-grandpa died, he loved to draw, and I did not realize that until after a year of drawing. Well, good. Runs in the family. Let me put some stupid things in here. Sometimes I'll put a mad dog. There you go, mad dog. Never met your grandfather. So, thick black band with no face on one hand, huh? Can you tell me if it's his left or right hand? And I will get it right. Oh, let's put a fish in here. Fish are always good. You want dollar signs? On his right, according to the Atlantic photo. So this hand should be Fitbit. Okay. Fitbit looks like nothing. Creative Juice also writes his right hand. Thank you. You guys are a resource. I like to do the little tic-tac-toe, I like to do daggers and guns. Sometimes I've done swearing and I did it for a client or something and they object to the guns. They're good with everything else. I'll even take the swastikas, but a gun is going too far. But these guys are Republicans, you know. They have no problems with guns. Yeah, I'm not entirely. Thank you, Creative Juice, but I'm not entirely happy with this Trump. He's kind of a lousy one. Bags under his eyes. You know, he's not bad for bags under his eyes. He's got this little bit. Not much of bags under his eyes. As I'm watching, I'm looking at this, so examining the bags under the eyes. In fact, I could look at Ted Cruz, see if that shows his Fitbit. I suppose that's his Fitbit right here, huh? Is that the Fitbit? That's his right hand? Always a Fitbit? Don't know. Go back to Trump, because I'm still not happy with my Trump. Creative Juices, do you ever scan in your final drawing and take it into Photoshop or anything? Just wondering what your next steps would be before sending it in for publication. Yes, I will scan it in Photoshop as line art, so it kind of looks like I drew it in pencil. I drew it in pen. And I will color it. I'll do two versions, black and white and color. This one is going to be grayscale. I'm not going to draw any more detail in their suits, so this will just be gray. And do a little lightning and a rain cloud. It is going to take quite a bit of time in Photoshop too, and I have said that I will do the Photoshop in live stream. So I'm going to, when I finish this, yeah, I'll color the drawing. When I finish this, I'm Gucci bags under his eyes. That's kind of funny. Thank you for that, Kid Scoop News. Yes, so I'm going to take another quick break when I finish this, and I will scan, and much of what I do at the beginning after I scan it is really pretty darn boring. I'll go through it and clean up the little hickeys and messes here and there. Get the line art looking good. And that process of coming through and cleaning up the hickeys takes about 15 minutes. They're really boring. Tis Beast. Very nice to see you here, Tis Beast. And please Go follow me on Twitch because I'm hurting for followers on Twitch. So I appreciate your help. You're in England and it's 11:52. Middle of the night. My goodness. Lots of wonderful cartoonists in England. We don't have any any English cartoonists on Kaggle.com. Not quite sure why, since there's so many great ones, but none of them have been interested. We've got 2 Scottish cartoonists and Irish cartoonists, a bunch from France, a whole lot from Holland. Superheroes. That's good stuff to draw, 'Tis Beast. I started off drawing superheroes and collecting comics as a kid. I think that's how most cartoonists, most of my colleagues got started doing this. I don't think kids today draw and collect the comics as much as they did when I was a kid, because we didn't have video games, and now they spend their time with the video games instead of the pencil and paper. And I noticed that in people's art, they don't seem to have put as many hours into it as they did in the old days. You like DC or you like Marvel? Well, I tell ya, DC's doing pretty well at getting a bunch of TV shows on the air now. I liked the Lucifer show, so that's DC. And I like Supergirl, and I like The Flash. Bunch of good DC stuff. I haven't gotten into the Arrow. That didn't click with me. Neither does Legends of Tomorrow. I think Legends of Tomorrow is just awful. But I like The Flash. DC is more intense. More intense. Matt Bandana likes Garfield the best. I think they've just done a lovely job with that Supergirl show. I like that when they revealed that her boss was the Martian Manhunter. And then they made him look just like what the Martian Manhunter should look like instead of reinterpreting everything. Well, it's great. You feel like you're really in their universe. Garfield is your spirit animal. Ah! DC is more intense. Alright, I'm going to give them some generalized crud. Let's go for generalized crud. Because this is looking a little too static. Needs a little bit of general crud. His beast rise. I read Batman and his son dies and comes back confused you. This is a busy one. I thought it needed a little bit of busy because it was looking overworked. This is my problem when I go to ink. I start doing drawings that look like this one, and this one looks overworked. So adding some loose crud in here is gonna help a little. The sun is the new Robin. Okay. I watch the TV shows, but I have not endeavored to read the comics in recent years. I do too much reading the newspaper to try to keep up for doing these editorial cartoons. Anyway, you folks on Twitch, you 14 people watching, please go follow me on Twitch. Because I'm hurting to get people following me on Twitch. And I appreciate your help. You know, that sucks. It's going in the wrong direction. Get rid of that. So your dad is building your bike. My goodness, that sounds ambitious. Alright, let's get rid of this junk in here, which has no good reason to exist. Have a little more of those horizontal lines going on in here. You didn't need to be swearing below the waist. Bells Masterson, you're a new one? Yeah, this is great. The people will be here soon enough. Happens all the time. Oh, that's great. Thank you. If you draw it, they will come. Thank you, Creative Juice. But do please go follow me on Twitch. So this is going to take some grayscale and some color in order to clean it up from being too busy. It is a busy one. I'm thinking that my next cartoon, the next cartoon I have in mind right now is Donald Trump standing next to Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is naked, but over his private parts he's got the Canadian maple leaf instead of a fig leaf, and Donald Trump's there pointing at his junk. I like the idea of doing cartoons that look for every opportunity to draw politicians naked, or as dogs, as cross-dressing. Anyway, I thought that the maple leaf as fig leaf was going to be something that all the cartoonists drew, but I actually haven't seen it. So I'm kind of feeling like I'm obligated. Two Senseless writes, Daryl, you should have PSI Matrix, who is my tech guy for all the Kegel cartoon stuff, set up a timer command in Nightbot so that it reminds chat once in a while to give you a follow. Yes! In fact, I thought he had done that, and I thought he would be watching this, and that's an excellent suggestion, and I should do that. Creative Juice writes, I'm relatively new to Twitch and just found the creative streams a few weeks ago, thinking of starting a tutorial stream for Illustrator and Photoshop since I don't seem to see any like that, but people seem to think I should start with YouTube, and once I get enough views, followers, do Twitch. I like the idea of answering people's questions as they have them. I don't know how many times I've watched a tutorial video on YouTube and had questions afterwards. PSI Matrix! Theo, nice to see you here. You have it, but it looks like Nightbox isn't in chat at the moment for some reason. I'll go kick it. Why would that not be working? Nice to see you here, Theo. I see Kegel.com is back up. We had a very big hacker attack today, which brought the site down for a while. So my apologies for that. Am I done with this line drawing? Am I ready to scan and color this? Nightbot. Okay. I'm not happy with my Trump. He does have a lot of empty cheek. You know what I might do is when I open this in Photoshop and just pull his face like 1/4 of an inch in that way. Because he's got this blank space here that is not good. Oh, that wasn't good. See you later, Matt Bandana. You know, I think he's got even more neck going on. I'm gonna give him more. See you later, Two Senseless. He does have a lot of neck. And not a bad chin. Nightbot. That's looking good. Kids Group News writes, what drawing paper do you use, Daryl? I use, this vellum is Duraline from a company called Seth Cole, and you can get it in larger art stores. They won't have it at Aaron Brothers or Michael's, but you get it at Sam Flax or Bliss or something. And they should have it in stock. Comes in 14 by 17 inch pad. It's really very nice. Archival quality, very sturdy, waterproof. Stands up to lots of erasing. And it's got this nice kind of white color that doesn't look like a grayed down trace. When you put it against white in a frame, it makes a lovely original. And it makes my hard pencil come out really black. So I do much like this Duraline paper. Not sure I like Donald Trump. I might play with him a little bit in Photoshop to get him just right. Okay, folks, I'm going to take a few minutes out to scan this, and then I will come back repositioned and working on my Wacom tablet to color it and clean up little bits of crud that may happen to show up in the scan. So when I come back, we will be switched over to Photoshop. So if you would come back in about 15 minutes, you will see me again coloring for quite some time. You know what? I need this spot over here to sign it. Hello, Tisbeast. So I'm just about to leave you and scan this and then come back and color it in live stream in Photoshop. Is that looking right? Do I want to quit? Now 12:11 in England PM. Oh, I'm sorry, Tisbeast. It's gonna take as long as it takes for me to scan it and open Photoshop and move the cameras around because I'm in a different position doing the Wacom tablet. So maybe 15 minutes. I've been signing my name on my art as darylcagle.com lately because I usually put in politicalcartoons.com, and that's 2 URLs. Editors don't like 2 URLs, but darylcagle.com kind of is just my name and not so much a URL, so I can get away with 2. Monkey on Strike. Monkey on Strike seemed like a nice fella. Okay. Oh, thank you for the kind words, Monkey on Strike. If you have any suggestions for me on building an audience here, I think I'm the only editorial cartoonist who ever tried anything like this. I appreciate your being here and looking in. I think the other cartoonists are afraid to do it. I think it is kind of scary because, you know, all your mistakes are out here for everybody to see. Okay, I'm going to be 15 minutes of scanning and resetting up, and then I will be back to color this in Photoshop. So I hope that you guys will hang around, and I shall be off and on. Pleasure meeting you all. Please go follow me, and thank you folks for everything. Do come back in 15 minutes or so. See y'all later.